Hello there! In this video I will be showing you how to take smartphone photos of Northern Lights. But before that, let's take a quick look what happened actually during the night when I was doing my photography with this smartphone and also with my DSLR cameras. UFOs. Hello there, my friends. Today I have arrived here. What is that? They are coming to take me away. Okay, we have arrived here to take some photographs and time-lapse of the Northern Lights, which are right now over there. North is that way. Okay. Is this high contact? Is this good contact? Yeah. I think this is, yeah, this is it. Oh yeah. Okay, so right now it's super cold. Ooh, and this is my second night in a row over here filming the Northern Lights. Here's my ride. So I bicycled here for like 10 kilometers and over there you can maybe not. Let's go closer. See my main setup. Oh, let's not point the light over there because there's the lens. So there you have my A6300 Sony, and it is attached to a power bank with a cable. And let's turn this off and let's show you what's going on in here. So over here it's taking time lapse and yeah. Ooh, it's so cold. Here is the second tripod which I was using last night, and it is not that good. It is horrible. I will show it to you tomorrow why. When I get back inside, and this icy thing here is ocean. So let's go back this way. Tonight I took my great old Manfrotto steel tripod with me. It is much more sturdy. Can you see me? Can you see me? Hello there. Hello. Why isn't it tracking? Filming the Northern Lights or taking the time-lapse is so crazy. It is so irritating with that 28mm lens. It's way too narrow, but that's all I got. But I will never ever come again to take time-lapse of the Northern Lights Revontulet with that lens, because it's just so hard. It's like cat and mouse play. Because there is this big half circle over there, and sometimes the lights appear. It's visible with bare eyesight, but sometimes the lights appear to the left, and sometimes they appear to the right, and sometimes in the middle. And in the middle there is some city lights. So I cannot really film that way. And yeah, it's just so hard because they come and go so quickly, and taking a time lapse lasts like you need to have like at least good half an hour. Right now the time lapse that I'm doing has, I believe, 8-second or 6-second shutter speed. I don't remember which one. And I'm taking 260 photos, and halfway through like you wouldn't believe how many times I've set up the thing first to the right because there was the lights, and then started it, and then they disappear, and then nothing happens for a while, like for good 20 minutes or so, and then they suddenly appear to the left, completely out of frame, and then I need to either just let it go and film the empty sky and hope that at some point they will appear, or just randomly, like in the middle of the time lapse, point the camera to the opposite direction and catch something. And I've been doing both, and I don't know, I hope that I've been able to get at least a few couple second clips, but that just sucks, because if I'd have like 10mm lens, which is really like a very good starting point for this, because it's basically like a 180-degree view over here where they appear. So with like a 10mm or even wider lens, I would be able to capture the whole sky, and then I'd see like the whole thing, because they are pretty massive when they come. Right, like right now there's really barely anything, but a couple times I've seen them really big tonight, like the biggest that I've seen ever. So it was definitely worthwhile coming. It's midnight right now, and it's super cold. And I also want to send out my cheers for Veksu. Veka, he is somewhere elsewhere tonight, also trying to take some time lapse and photos of the Northern Lights tonight. So I challenged him to make a video as well. I'm not sure if he's gonna do one, but if he does, I will post it in the description, so check that out as well. I think I'm gonna pack it up for tonight and bicycle my way back home, and let's continue tomorrow. I will show you the results, and yeah, let's get the hell out of here. So as you saw or heard, I don't know if you saw anything because it was so dark, and I did my vlog clips with this 70D and 10 to 18mm lens, which has aperture I think 4.5 at its widest. Anyway, this is not a camera channel and this is not a photography channel, so let's not go too much into detail about this technical stuff. But anyway, it was just super dark, and because there was a lot of people, there was a lot of tourists and kids and young people and old people and all kinds of people, same time that had come to take a look at the Northern Lights, because they were pretty big, even though there was a lot of lights contaminating the air, lights that come from the city. And they, you know, just make it really hard to see the Northern Lights with your bare eyesight. But anyway, we cannot turn down the city lights, so what can you do? Anyway, it wasn't like the best possible place to spot and photograph the Northern Lights, but anyway, there was a lot of people who tried to take photos of them with their cell phones, because, you know, a lot of people don't have a DSLR camera and they don't have a tripod. So in this video, even though I mainly used this one to take stills and that one to take stills as well, but I did a few time-lapse videos. If you're interested in knowing more about time-lapse videos, I would love to make a whole other video about that, because I'm all new to this time-lapse thing. I've only previously done time-lapses with a GoPro, so I'm all new into this, and I'm very excited about the time-lapse things that you can do, like with, for example, this Sony a6300. So if you're interested, write down a comment and tell me if you want to hear more about them. But in this video, I promised that I would be talking about the smartphone photography, so let's do that. You might think that you need a tripod for taking a photograph with a smartphone, but it's not really necessary, even though it does help.
A couple words about tripods. This is a tripod that I bought a year ago. I'm probably gonna do my own review in some other video about this newer tripod, because this was something that a lot of folks praised and said that this is the best that you can buy for cheap. But I wouldn't be so sure about that. As you can see, it is full of plastic, and they felt in the beginning very sturdy and good plastic, but as it turned out, okay, sorry, the audio was probably clipping. As it turned out, this plastic and this tripod does not last in very cold temperatures. These plastic parts break down in cold environments, so I wouldn't be recommending this one. But anyway, no more about that. That is not usable anymore, that tripod. It fell apart while I was shooting the Northern Lights, but maybe more about that in some other video. Last night I also had with me, just in case, this old Manfrotto tripod, and this is, I believe, full and aluminium. It is very heavy. All these parts are steel, and it weighs probably like 6 kilos or something. It is much bigger than this one. But yeah, if you wanna get a tripod, get a good tripod, even though the work can be done also with a cheap tripod like this one, but you know, if you have the money, buy a better one. But like I said, taking a photo of the Northern Lights doesn't require a tripod at all. But first of all, I want to show you the settings that you want to use, because a lot of people just open up the camera and then they aim and then they press take a photo, and then they go like, oh damn, that's not very good. So what you want to do is you want to go, because I believe all the modern smartphones have this option that you can actually see in my camera. Okay, is this good content? Okay, so anyway, you want to go to the camera of your smartphone. Any recent modern smartphone, I believe, has these settings. So you go to the more or whatever section and you find the professional setting, and you tap that, open that up, and then all kinds of things open up below over here. And what you want to do when you shoot Northern Lights, or in general in low light situations like star photos during the nighttime, that is also possible with a smartphone. You want to go to the S, meaning shutter speed, and it's always set to automatically, but you scroll all the way here and you see all these numbers. You don't need to know what these numbers mean. If you do not know what they mean, then don't mind about that, but you go all the way here when the numbers are starting to get less and less. So here we have 1, for example, but we don't want to shoot with 1 second shutter. We want to shoot with longer shutters. So the longest that we can take with this phone, for example, is 8. So we pick 8 as our shutter speed. And then we want to go and change the auto white balance to, for example, tungsten. You might wonder, why do you want to take tungsten photos when we are outside? Well, don't mind about that, they just look good. So anyway, you take that one, and then you want to go to the ISO, and the ISO, once again, it's automatically auto, but don't use that one. I'd pick, you are gonna get, when you're taking with a smartphone photos and you pump up the ISO over 100, you are gonna get a lot of grain, but don't worry about that. You wanna choose at least 1600 or maybe even 3200, but try it out, and you can lower it if it's possible, but I'd start with maybe 1600. And then the one more thing that you want to do is you want to change the autofocus to manual focus right here, and then you can slide the thing, and here we have macro with the flower, and then on the other side we have a landscape. So that is what we want to use. And then what you're gonna need to do now is you're gonna want to take the phone and have something like, for example, your gloves or your hat, your beanie, whatever, and position the smartphone on the land or wherever you are, if it's a field or if it's a street or if it's a frozen lake, whatever it might be, but you need to have an open space, and you're gonna put your gloves or your hat or whatever to the ground, and then you're gonna position your smartphone towards the subject that you are shooting so that it stays there in the right position. It cannot be shaking at all, it cannot be moving at all. So if you have a tripod, use that one, but if you do not have a tripod, you can use your gloves or hat or whatever, you know. Be imaginative. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to take care of the fact that when you take the photo, when you press the trigger, you don't want to cause any shakiness while you do that. So, well, smartphones, at least this one has a pretty good opinion for that. You just use the sound controlling, which means basically that you say G's, and when you say G's, the camera takes a photo. The other way you can do this is you can use the timer. You can set the timer for 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it doesn't really matter, but just use the timer, and then you can carefully tap the screen, and then the timer does its magic, and all the shakiness that is caused by you touching the phone stops during that timer time, and then you will get a very good photo. So most definitely it is possible to take photos of night sky and northern lights with a smartphone. I'm gonna show you here a couple examples that I've taken during the last couple trips that I've done photographing northern lights and the stars. Are these photos upcoming photos for cover photos for, okay, that sentence does not make any sense. So are these photos gonna be on the cover of the next issue of National Geographic? No, they are not very good. Their resolution sucks. They have a lot of grain and noise, and they don't have a lot of detail. But I think they are still pretty good photos for a smartphone photo, and you can most definitely show them to your friends and your family, and you can make them jealous by saying that I just took them with my phone, and then you can upload them on Instagram and whatever. They are most definitely high enough quality for that, and much more higher quality than what you get if you just take a photo handheld with automatic settings. So you can do a lot of things with a smartphone as well. So don't put down the smartphones, put it up and point it towards the sky. Okay, that was not okay. So anyway, in general, I am very pleased for the photos and time lapses that I was able to get with my cameras. It was just super exciting to bicycle and during the nighttime and in the freezing cold air and see the northern lights. I've never before seen them as big because, well, I live in the southern part of Finland and I've lived there for most of my life, so they are very rare. I've seen them only a few times beforehand, so it was a new experience for me. But I guess that is it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, press the thumbs up button and subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next one. If you want to know more about photographing northern lights and stuff like that, write down a comment and maybe I will do another part at some point. And I'm most definitely probably at some point gonna do also a review of this tripod, because I have a couple words about that. So yeah, thanks, take care, bye bye.